let's start our retouching, our cleaning up process for good right now. So, as I mentioned to you already, the best way for me is cleaning up the skin using a hard-edged brush, and that's it. Of course, current below, and I'm trying to do this as fast as possible because what's really important, I realized that after a time, whether you retouch for yourself or your customer, it's very important to do retouch fast, because no one is going to pay you for the time spent on the image. You getting paid by the job done, so you want to learn how to retouch quickly. So that's why it's very important to have tablet, and long time practice helps you to do this, as I'm doing this right now. And I believe you can say that I'm trying to not waste the time. And there is few different things I would like to mention about the skin cleaning up, and this is switching between modes that we have over here for healing brush. Very often I'm doing job in the normal mode, and this is just enough. It's not distractive if you will be using this right and carefully, though sometimes for the certain things, when we get in closer to the edges, it might be really distractive. And if your retouch is distractive, you can often switch between modes. For example, when you have a lot of tiny spots, the white spots like this one, which are actually not visible right now from the distance, you can easily retouch with the mode darken. What it does, it actually preserves the skin texture even better. And as you can see, when I try to retouch dark area, it's not going to work. So it's only for the bright areas, and it's very natural. As you can see, it's softened job than working with the mode normal, and it's preserving really well. And I'm usually doing the image with the mode normal, and then when I get to these small heads over here standing out, I switch the blending mode to sort this out, or for example tiny hair, etc. So that would be working great. Here we have this sort of areas. So if you have these standing out heads, I would recommend you to work with blend mode darken, or if the heads are dark, if the spots are dark, you switch blending mode to lighten. And this is my advice, and you can see that will be working great for most of the things like that. Though on the portrait, sometimes maybe it's not that necessary, but if you have problem with normal blending mode and other things to resolve such an issues, you can always experiment with blending mode lighten and darken, and it will be very powerful for all of these tiny spots. Over here, as you can see, I have this little wrinkle, and that will be just working great for it, because the wrinkle is dark inside. So with mode lighten, as you can see, I sorted this out very naturally. Of course, I could also sort this out with blending mode normal, but it works even better with the lighten blending mode. The same, we have a lot of hair over here, so I would also be trying to sort this out as much as I can, maybe with mode darken, but very carefully, because we have a lot of edges here, and sometimes it might be slightly distractive. But the main hair, that will be just great method to remove the main hair over here. So for now, I believe I was speaking quite clearly. I'm going to remove some of the hair, and later I want to show you a few more methods about removing hair. I wish there could be some shortcut, but there is not. Though from my own experience, even a retouch sometimes might seems to be really long. After you got fluent with that, the time just getting shorter all the time. Right now, even if I do beauty images, I trying to sort this out within 1 hour. The main thing is staying focused and doing your retouch just on point, not trying to overdo this, but going with the feeling. When you finish, the image is finished. Remember, one thing that is often said by many, less is more. And also with this sentence, I will be retouching this image. I'm going to keep these 2 moles over here and keep her natural look. These are not spots, as you can see. We actually removed already quite many spots. Here, as you can see, I could use blending mode lighten, but I really think for this image I can just clean up the image with normal blending mode. Here we have some bigger issues, so I'm not sure if that will be so easy, but I can do this. And here, as you can see, I'm very close to the edge, so this is the great time to switch into clone stamp. And as you can see, I'm going with the hardness down to 0, and with soft brush I'm trying to paint over here. So yes, I'm destroying texture. Even here you can see I have some of the rough skin. I don't see problem. Many people just over panic with the skin texture, where you have some of the hard skin texture. You can just simply use clone stamp, but I will probably talk in the separate lesson about this, to make sure that you get all of the information right. Here also I have this tiny hair, so I will try to remove this just with healing brush. As you can see, in some areas maybe not that simple. So here, probably this area I will try to sort out slightly with different blending modes. And here, I just inside the eye, I will try to lighten this area just a little, because I don't really think this hair going through everywhere looks well. It's very difficult to do this, especially where we have some other areas, some of the edges. Over here it will be easy, though here I will try to choose darken blending mode and see if it works better. And indeed it does work better. So for little hair, as you can see, great. So remember to stay creative. Don't close yourself into switching blending modes, because for me right now it's a very natural feeling, and I'm hoping you will get to this point, if you are not there right now, that it will get natural for you when you see some certain spot and you already feel what you want to do with this. If you see some of the white spots like over here, which are actually skin texture, but it might be a little bit too strong, a little bit destructive, and you already have the feeling that you can actually try to knock it down a little. And that's what I am doing. I don't want to take too much of your time right now. I will leave the cleaning up a little bit more, and soon, finally, I will be done. And we will talk a little bit more about cleaning up a little hair and about clone stamp in the next lesson. So maybe just a few minutes more till I'll clean the area well, and we will be continuing this cleaning in the next lesson, where I can explain you better how to work with clone stamp, maybe how to even out rough areas without using any weird techniques, because you have to know that All of the techniques and shortcuts you can find on YouTube or other platforms are not very useful, and in long term make your work difficult by giving you some really bad habits.